Hello and welcome to another module of the web development course, and in this module we will be learning about something called the box model. All HTML elements can be considered as boxes. In CSS, the term box model is used when talking about design and layout. The CSS box model is essentially a box that wraps around every HTML element. It consists of margins, borders, paddings, and the actual content. The image shown here on the slide illustrates the box model. There are four different parts of the CSS box model. The content of the box is the place where text and images appear. The padding, it clears an area around the content, and the padding is also transparent. The border, a border is something that goes around the padding and the content. And the last and the fourth one is the margin. It clears an area outside the border. The margin is also transparent. We will have a look at all of these uh, contents of the box model one by one. Moving on to the border first. The border properties allows us to specify how the border of the box representing an element should look like. There are four properties of a border that we can change, that is the style, color, width, and the radius. We'll be looking at some examples and applying these properties one by one. So open a file in any code editor, create an HTML document, create a div with class div1 in the inside the body tag, and fill some random content in this. Link a style sheet with some name like any name you want to keep, like boxmodel.css. We'll create this file later on. Save this HTML document wherever you want to. I'll save it in my desired place and give it a name. Open another file and write the style sheet for this HTML document and this div. So what we'll do over here, first of all we will define a width for this div of 200 pixels, and we will change the style and width of the border. To change the border style, we will just write border style, and we can have several types of borders, like a solid one, or another style can be dotted or dashed or inset or ridge, and there are several kind of border styles. You can have a look at any of the CSS reference for the border style property, and you will get all these values. We will set a border width of say 5 pixels, and we will just save it. We will have to save this CSS file with the same name, boxmodel.html, not .html, actually CSS, and save it. Just go to the respective folder and open that HTML file. So you can see that we have a border that is 5 pixels thick and of black color. Now we will change the border radius. We will set it to be 10 pixels. Save it, check it out. You can see a rounded corner of this div over here. This is because of the border radius property. We can also change the border color of the border using the border color property. I will choose red color. Just refresh it, and the color of the border has changed. Now to have a different style for each of the side, to have a different border style for each of the sides, we will have to use border. We can also do that by using border hyphen top hyphen style. This will keep the style of the top border to be solid. We will choose a dashed border on the left side. So for that we will have to do border left style dashed, and a dotted border on the right side, and no border on the bottom. Just save this and refresh this. So you can see we have a dotted border on the right side, a dashed border on the left side, and a solid border on the top with a border radius of 10 pixels. Let's just remove this and refresh this. Yeah, so it's fine as expected. The result here is as expected. You can also have different colors for all the different sides. Like I will give a red color to the top border, a different color like green color to the left border, and I would rather choose a black color for the right border. Beige, let it be beige. Just refresh the page. You can see we have got some different kind of colors for all these borders. This beige is not actually visible, but yeah, you can see it that the color of the right border is beige. So there is a shorthand border property. Using that property, what we can do that we will not have to write so many lines of code for defining the borders. We can just write it is just simple like this: 1px solid red, and just save this file, refresh it, and you can see that we have 1 pixel solid border on all the sides. Okay, now we'll move on to the margin property. The margin property defines a space around an HTML element, and we can possibly use this property to overlap two different elements by using negative values, by passing negative values to the margin property. The values of the margin property are not inherited by the child elements. We have the following properties to set an element's margin: top, bottom, left and right, and a shorthand property for all the four. Okay, so let's look at some examples to understand these things. We'll use the same HTML document we used earlier. You remember one thing: margin is always transparent. You can only change the width of the margin. So I will choose a margin of say 100 pixels on all the side. Sorry. So you can see that we have a very big margin. This would be more visible to you if I use two different div containers. Like I'm going to just change this to be div2, save this, apply the same properties to the second div tag, save it and refresh it. Okay, as you can see there is a 100 pixel margin, actually 200 pixels margin between these two division tags. So what different we can do? This was the shorthand property. This would set a 100 pixel boundary around all the sides. We can set 100 pixels for the top and 50 pixels on the right, 20 pixels on the bottom and 0 pixels on the left. Just write 0, and the same thing for this one too. Save it. So you can see here we have a 0 pixel. Actually we can use the Chrome inspector tool for see what is the margin and border around these elements. So what you have to do, just right click on the element and click on inspect. Click on this icon or just click Ctrl Shift C. So you can see over here that it has a very big margin, 100 px I think margin on the top, a 50 px on the right, but as it is a block level element, so it is covering the whole width of the screen, and 20 px on the bottom and a 0 px on the left. We can also just pass two values for this margin property. So 100 px value will go on for the top and bottom, and 50 px will be passed on to the left and right sides. Just refresh this page and you can see. Let's use another property called float and just write left in this. So what will this will do, the division to the div tag with the class div2 will come on the right hand side of the div1 tag. Just refresh this page. Okay, so this is not happening, so we will have to use a float left for this one too. Float left, pass float left values to both the divs, and this will be very much visible now. We have 100 px margin on the top, 50 px on the right, 20 px on the bottom, and 0 px on the left for this div1, and these values 150 px for this one. Now there's one more thing that we can do with this margin. We can pass a value auto for this, so this will align this div2 tag horizontally. So you can see over here the div2 tag is aligned to the center horizontally. Okay, we can also pass values in percentage like 20% or 50%. The margin will be set according to the width of the screen. So yeah, you can see over here this 20% is just too much, let it be 10%. So let's move on to the next topic, that is padding. Okay, so padding is the space between the content and the border of any element, as we have shown here in the diagram. Padding is also transparent. We can adjust it individually for every side, or at once for all sides, or in groups of two like we did it in the margins. Okay, so let's look what are the properties that we can say, the same as we had in the margin: top, bottom, left, right, and a shorthand one. Let's have a look at some examples. So we will here set the padding to be 50 px for all sides. Just save this and refresh this page in the div2 tag. Okay, here we have a 50 px padding on all the sides. Now we'll set a 50 px for the top and bottom, and 100 px on left and right. The padding in left and right has increased in comparison to that means that this has been applied, this property has been applied. We can do this for all of them individually: 20 px for top, 30 px for right, 40 px for bottom, and 50 px for left. Okay, let's refresh this one. You can see over here the margins have been applied. Let's use the Chrome inspection tool more briefly now. You can just click on this element and select this element. Just go to the bottom, and here you can see this box model diagram, which will explain the margin, padding, which will explain all the dimensions in this for this element. This diagram will show you the dimension of all the borders, margin and padding, and even the content. Here you can see we have a 1px solid border, 188.891 margin, a 50px padding, a 20px padding, a 30px padding, and a 40px padding. We can use this Chrome inspection tool for many different purposes. You will be knowing about these things later in this course, and even you can just explore this Chrome inspection tool on yourself also. You can see the CSS all the style sheet of the selected element over here. You can see it on the right side. Here you will be having all your HTML code of this HTML document, here the CSS code, and you can also change it from here. Like I will change the border, to be 10px. So you can see the changes what we make over here will be shown in this HTML document, but these will not be saved. These are just for experimental purpose, and you can change these settings from your HTML and CSS file respectively. Changes made over here will not be saved. You can change the CSS and HTML property for any of them. It is also used for checking responsiveness of the elements by clicking on these. We will see these things later on in this course. So start using this Chrome inspector tool. You will get to know about this later in the course in detail. I will elaborate you everything, but use this on your own, explore these things and try it out. Start playing this with this stuff and you will achieve something in life. Next thing that we will be looking at is the CSS outline property. Outline is just like the border property. It facilitates you to draw an extra border around an element to get visual attention. So you might be thinking that then what is the difference between outline and border? So the difference between outline and border is that it is not possible to apply a different width, style and color for the four sides of an element for the outline property, while in border we can apply the provided value for all four sides of an element. Also, the border is a part of the element's dimension, while the outline is not the part of the element's dimension. Means it doesn't matter how thick an outline you apply to the element, the dimensions of it won't change. We can also set 4 different properties for this, like style, color, width, offset and a shorthand one called the outline. So let's start with the outline style property. Set it to be double. It has all the same styles as we had in the border one. Set the outline width to be say 5px, and we can use the outline offset property to create a gap between the border and the outline of the element. So just create a 10 pixel gap using the outline offset in this div2 tag, save it and then go to the HTML document, refresh the page. You can see the outline is set here, close the, and there is a 10px gap, a double styled outline of width 5 pixels. Okay,